Hello there ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here and it's time for a new video, and as you can see from the title, it is a pickups video today, the first in quite a while on the channel, maybe over 3 months, I'm not quite sure, but the rule as always is at least, well, usually 5 physical games. I've actually gone back on my usual rule here. I've broken it quite simply because there are so many digital games that I've been purchasing and playing lately. But yeah, today I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games to talk about. A little bit more than usual, but only 4 are physical, 3 are digital, and I'll be running through them quite quickly. But yeah, I've also got a few other games to talk about. There are 3 games I've purchased after all the games are in this pickup video, but I just thought that I'd leave them for the next video, otherwise there'd be way too many. But yeah, the next pickup video I should be ready to make that very soon, because out of the 3, only one's physical again. I've just been buying more digital games, getting with the times I guess. I don't like it, but well, there were a few games on sale over Christmas, of course, and I had to save some money, and it made sense to me. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, does it say it all about modern gaming in 2018 that 2 of the games that I purchased the trilogy first, and then the Star Wars version after quite a few of these other games, but I'm going to show them off together. By the way, the microphone is a little bit off to the right of me in this video. The audio should still be okay, but I'm going to be a bit quieter, and it won't be, well, it's not centre on, but it should be okay for just one video. I'm just doing it from this angle because I'm putting my feet up because it's been a stressful, hard day. But yeah, it is none other than Star Wars Angry Birds and Angry Birds Trilogy. Now, Angry Birds, I don't know, I can't remember exactly when it became popular, maybe back in about 2009, 10, 11. I remember playing it on my old laptop back in 2012. I smashed off a heck of a lot of the levels, but I can't remember how much I did. But I used to love Angry Birds, properly addicted to it. And yeah, the last 3 or 4 months, I've just been smashing off so much of this because there's so many levels, there's so much variety, and it is just an example of how simplicity in gaming can truly be genius. Each bird does something a little bit different. The yellow bird, he's the one that speeds up and crashes into things. You've got the egg one that drops a bomb. You've got the actual bomb itself. The red ones, the ones that come in threes, that like split up into different directions. There's strategy to the way that you have to play, but at times just going in like a wrecking ball works as well. And I just love the level designs and the thought that they put into some of the levels. The Star Wars Angry Birds game wasn't quite as good, and they changed up some of the birds and stuff, what they did. There was also a Princess Leia one, if I remember correctly. But yet and still, the last couple of months, last 3 or 4 months actually, I've been playing a heck of a lot of Angry Birds and loving it. I've not got every single achievement, but I've got a heck of a lot of them now. Very easy achievements as well, so I've been pimping up my gamer score with those. And yeah, I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. Supposedly there's an Angry Birds 2, but it's only on mobile or tablet, and I've never played it. It didn't get amazing reviews. I think Angry Birds has come and gone now, but I'd like to see something very similar to Angry Birds happen in the future to kick off again, because it was so big back in the day, but playing this the last couple of months has really reminded me how much I loved them. Something very simplistic, a nice time waster, you know, an hour or 2. Very addictive as well, though. Love Angry Birds. Anyway, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, why is this in the list? Because I've never played it before. It's a bit bizarre, but it's Football Manager 2010. I've been on a bit of a Football Manager kick this last 6 months. I've been playing a bit of Football Manager 2010 and 11 and 12 and even 13 and Touch 2018, the latest version, although it's not hitting the spot. For me, the peak was 2012. I've even been playing Champman 01 or 2, which is one of my most popular and famous videos that I've ever done on my channel. It's got over 50,000 views, I think, or coming up to it. And Championship Manager 01 or 2, for me, if someone asked me to pick 10 desert island games, that would be one of the 10. It's the most addictive game of all time and one of the best. It is genius in simplicity yet again, which is something that I love in any medium, especially gaming, but it's got the depth as well. For such an old game, it's incredible. But I just never played this one. I picked it up, I started a season. I can't remember what team I played half a season and I stopped playing it. I bought it for 50p, ladies and gentlemen. A bloody charity shop, of course. Why not? Just adding it to the Football Manager collection. This one, if you must know, was the second with the 3D match engine, but just a random old Football Manager game. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is a digital game. It had to be a digital game because it's only available on Steam, and it is 2 Point Hospital, which is a spiritual successor to Theme Hospital back in the day on the original PlayStation and on PC, released back in 1998. I think a few of the employees back in the day of Bullfrog, who were the developer, I think, of Theme Hospital, worked on this game, and it's basically the same game but with modern graphics, a lot of the humour, a lot of the silliness incorporated into it. And I thought it was a game that I wanted to play so bad, but I feel so bad for saying this, but after playing it for 3 hours, do you know what I wanted to play? Theme Hospital. And that isn't right. I should be wanting to play 2 Point Hospital, but I just wanted to go back to Theme Hospital. They have put a lot of care, dedication and love into this game. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think a lot of people will love it. But for whatever reason, it just didn't grab me, and I didn't go back to really play the game too much after that. Yet and still, like I say, it's no fault of the game. I don't really like, and it's an aspect of all modern games, like heal 10 patients by this time, and heal 4 patients, and it's like, oh, why are you giving me goals? Just let me complete a level and move on to the next level. Genius in simplicity again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a simple kind of man. But yeah, if I had to say anything, I'd say that's the reason. But I also love that stuck camera angle from the top with Theme Hospital, and you just rotate it around it like a quarter. You had like 4 camera angles, if you will. So yeah, but Theme Hospital, one of my favourite games of all time. 2 Point Hospital, if you're interested in it, if you played Theme Hospital back in the day and you're intrigued, give it a go. You'll probably like it, but something just didn't hit the spot for me. It's me, not the game. But who knows if I could go back to it in the future. But I wanted to buy it anyway to support the old members of Bullfrog. You know why? Because EA fucked them over back in the day. Fuck you, EA, you pricks. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it's a series, one of my favourite games of all time. I couldn't say one of my favourite gaming series of all time because I haven't played enough of them. But I played the first back in the day when I was 8 years old. Fell in love with it, way too young to be playing it. Didn't matter. And for the second game, when it came out, I liked it, but I had a problem with it, as I think everyone did. But my God, I played that a few months ago, Metal Gear Solid 2, and that game has aged really, really well. And then, for the first ever time, I played Metal Gear Solid 3. I purchased it a friend gave it to me a long time ago on the PS2. Never played it, God knows what reason. And then I got it in the HD collection about 3 years ago, never got round to it. Finally played it, and I thoroughly enjoyed having the Metal Gear Solid experience yet again. But we're not talking about Metal Gear Solid 3, but I love Metal Gear Solid 3. I did purchase, however, digitally off the Xbox Live Store because it's backwards compatible, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which I've never played, and this game, Metal Gear Solid 4. Not many PS3 games you see, ladies and gentlemen, in my selection. Mainly because I don't have a PS3 controller. You know why? Because I've bought 3 in the 2 years that I've had a PS3, and all of them have been faulty. Fuck you, Sony. You're a bunch of pricks. Microsoft are better than you in nearly every way. I know that's a controversial opinion in 2018, but I think it's correct. The PlayStation 3 controller is appalling. It is cheap, appalling garbage, and it still costs about 30-40 quid to buy a second-hand PS3 controller. It's absolutely disgraceful. But not played this yet. Metal Gear Solid 4 sometime early next year. I'm just looking at the date there as I say that. What day is it? Oh yeah, 29th of December. Sometime in the next couple of months I will be buying a new PS3 controller, hoping that it works, and then I will play Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker. I believe Peace Walker is set... No, definitely. Peace Walker is set before Metal Gear Solid 4. This is last in the timeline. Peace Walker is set in the 1970s. I'm still not interested in playing Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes or 5 because I don't think Metal Gear Solid is an open world game. Fucking open world, don't get me started. But I'm very excited to play Fua and Peace Walker. I've heard the whole crew in this game, like Otacon and Meryl, and it's a bit of a tearjerker. And Kojima, man, I'm just in the mood for some more Kojima. Anyway, coming up last, ladies and gentlemen, a game I am certainly not in the mood for, and I absolutely hated this game, and if I could have got a refund for it, I would. There's only one game I've ever got a refund for, and that was on Steam. You know how you can play a game up to 2 hours and ask for a refund? That was Crying Is Not Enough, a survival horror game, which I was so excited for, but it was a broken, absolute mess of a game. The game I bought was a game called Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This story of this female kind of warrior, I guess, who hears voices, and it was based on kind of experiences of psychosis or schizophrenia. Interesting concept, but the gameplay itself was absolutely appalling. You've got to fight these demons. I think you had, I don't know if you had a sword or a blade, something like that, but the gameplay was so rigid and kind of, it's in a third person perspective, which I love, but the camera was slow, the gameplay was slow, it was boring, monotonous, and I looked online and a lot of people were criticising the gameplay because it was so limited, yet the game cost so much. There were puzzles as well, which they're the absolute bane of my life. The kind of puzzles where it's not your logic that is solving the puzzles, it's just the developers trying to be very intelligent, and you've got to find patterns in the game world. If you played the game before, you'll know what I'm talking about, and I would be interested to hear other people's opinions on that game, because I genuinely detested it. I played it for about, I don't know, I put it in a good 5 or 6 hours, guys, but I spent an hour on one of the puzzles. Like, I'm not a puzzle kind of guy, but I like puzzles that are based on logic. I'm currently playing a game on the PS4. It's a PS4 exclusive, won Game of the Year recently, and I am loving the puzzles in that game, and I'm loving the game itself. But the puzzles in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice were absolute garbage. The gameplay was garbage, and you had these voices in your head all the time. And apparently the developers did it because they wanted you to experience what it's like to suffer from those horrific things, but it just didn't work, and I wanted to punch the woman in the face who was saying all these things because I play in earphones. I mean, it's like, fucking hell. The game actually mentioned to play in earphones. The game had a decent atmosphere and a good vibe, but gameplay and puzzles were absolutely appalling, and I didn't like the game whatsoever. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the pickups video. I will have another sooner rather than later. I never do more than one in 2 months, so it's going to be at least late February, early March. I've already got 3. I've already given the clue away as to what one is, but when I purchase 2 more games, I'll be ready to make the next pickups video. And there is a vinyl pickups video on the way, and there is some Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, Last of Us Left Behind as well, and a few other bits and bobs that I've got planned for the rest of 2019. We've got a whole year of it. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.